So you're getting a lot of backlash over here?
We get some, we get some people. It's like, I don't have a problem with people believing what they want to believe and supporting who they want to support. But we've had a gentleman now pull by 3 times just to call me a fat bitch. And it's like, really, if that's all you got is to call me fat, then, you're not that smart.
Yeah, I guess.
Especially because he really wasn't thin. I could see if somebody like your kid, your wife, girlfriend, if I could see somebody that thin calling me fat, all right, you got a case. But this guy wasn't thin.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's kind of provoked knowing that Escondido's mostly a non-Trump supporter?
No, I don't feel that this should be provoked because look, right across the street there, check out those girls. That's my daughter, and next to her is a friend who lives with us. I'm the only one in my house that's a Trump supporter.
That's your daughter over there?
That's my daughter.
Are you serious?
You want to know why I'm standing up here right now?
Why?
Not just because I do support Trump, but because I need to make sure that my daughter and her friend are safe.
Wait, so is this your stand?
No, this is not my stand.
Oh, so
I literally came up here and just to hang out to make sure my kids are safe.
So you're here in support of
I'm in
the
support
gentleman over
of
here.
Trump, absolutely. If I didn't support Trump, I wouldn't be wearing this.
Well, that's kind of crazy that your daughter's over there on the other side. I guess you could literally say she's on the other side of the street.
Yep.
There was reports of you going over there yelling at him.
No, I didn't yell. I did go over because a lady came over, stopped by here, and she was like, man, those girls across the street. And I said, what happened? Her parents pulled in. I live in that park. And their parents pulled in and said something because of the way that they wrote the sign.
Right.
Said something about the language. She said it was like nice language. And my daughter said something inappropriate back. So yeah, I went over and told her.
So do you mind asking me asking you how old your daughter is?
My daughter's 16. Her friend is 16.
So is this going to create tension for you and your daughter at home?
No.
This just for show?
No, not like we have our moments where we don't agree on something, and she's telling me one thing, and I'm like, show me the proof, and the proof never comes out. But when I try to show her proof, she doesn't want to hear it, and it gets a little heated. I'm like, okay, I'm done talking. We just stop the talking right there and change the subject to something else. My daughter, my husband, my kids, they're all entitled to their own beliefs, just like you and you. And there's nothing I can do that's going to change what you believe unless I can show you. People have to be open-minded to what other people are seeing. And I think a lot of things that Trump says are misunderstood or taken the wrong way.
Like what do you think was misunderstood?
Well, I think him building the wall, I think people think that he wants all Hispanics out of our country. And that's not the case. If people really researched it, they would understand. It's not like... We have a friend whose dad was just deported, and I'm truly torn up about it. This girl is a great kid. I've known her since she was 4 years old. And her dad should not be deported. He did nothing but work his ass off here.
So I don't really pay attention to what Trump says because I can care less. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not say that Mexico sends over all the rapists and all the criminals? Wasn't that exactly what he said?
I do not know if that's exactly what he said.
I think so. I'm like 99.9999% sure.
But what I'm trying to say is when the wall was built and the deportations, it wasn't for the people, like DACA people are here. They're here to stay, and that's great. I don't think that people that are here raping people, assaulting people, robbing people, murdering people, selling drugs, doing those felonious activities that are violent, I don't think they should be here.
So how do you feel that
do you want those people, if people came, let's say they came from France. Let's say we had an overload of French people in this country right now. And there were a lot of them that were here murdering people or raping people or just doing felonious activities. Would you want them in our country, or would you tell them they need to go back to their country and do those activities?
Well, I can care less where they come from. I think that anybody who's doing those stuff or those type of things should not be on the streets. Period.
Exactly.
I don't think it's a case of where people come from. Do you realize that there's a lot of United States-born people that are actually rapists?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so how is the wall going to prevent the inner, I guess you can say, the inner growth of all these child molesters, rapists?
That's things that we have to work. Those are people that are here and born here, and I can't help that. And I'm not saying they should be running free. Their asses belong in prison too. All he's saying is that the ones that come from other countries should not be here.
You really think that the wall is going to be effective?
I think it's going to be more effective than not having any kind of border control. Don't you think so?
Isn't there already a fence there?
Not like what? A barbed wire fence?
Like there's a big fence. Like it's big. It's pretty huge.
Not the whole thing though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you realize that where the fence is actually located is where more people are actually coming through? Do you know how that's being done?
But the wall hopefully will stop some of that, and we can get stronger border control.
But the wall's being built up, not down. That's what I'm getting at. The wall's being built up.
Yeah, there are tunnels. There's been a lot of drug tunnels. We've heard in the news in the past, 5 years?
Right.
Where all the drugs are being smuggled under the border and through. You can only stop so many things at one time. And every time one's found, we shut it down.
That fence is not, or that wall is not going to deter anybody from coming in here.
I think that for people who want to come to America from Mexico, I think it needs to be made cheaper for them to come and get their citizenship here. I think it needs to be stronger background checks to make sure they're not criminal activities. But I think once they find out there's no criminal activities and they want to come here and thrive and work to support their families, I think it should be easier for them to become citizens here. You've taken the time to stand here and talk to me, and I've taken the time to listen to you. If people took time to really listen to what other people have to say and how they feel, I don't think there would be so much discord.
Well, I think it just boils down to the fact of what he has actually said, and he hasn't came back to retract what he said. He's just let it be. And a lot of the way that a lot of Trump supporters act towards the people is kind of more of it's just to spice things up. So it kind of makes it seem like everybody's the same.
We're standing here doing this, right?
Right.
You haven't heard me yell negative things at anybody, but you've heard a lot of negative things being yelled at us.
Well, no, because I'm standing in front of you, but when I was walking by, you flipped somebody off and flipped you off.
They flipped me off, and I said, I have one too.
Two wrongs
I have
make it
one
right.
too. It doesn't make it right, but I'm just telling you, this means nothing to me. If you're going to flip me off, yes, I'm going to flip you off.
It meant enough for you to flip him back off.
And people have yelled at me. Like I said, that guy's been by 3 times. I'm a fat bitch. Wow, I'm so glad somebody told me I was fat. I don't own a mirror. I don't know what size clothes I buy. I don't know what all this is on my belly or my arms, you know? You're not enlightening me by telling me I'm fat. There's my kid. I'm not yelling at her.
I really think I think it's fucking hilarious that your daughter's on the other side.
My daughter, I raised my kids to have opinions and not be followers. She doesn't need to follow what I say or how I believe. If she believes differently, that's okay. Nobody should die the way George Floyd died. Nobody. But not all. That does not make all cops bad.
Well,
there's a lot of great cops out there. I have family members that are police. I have friends that were police. They're not all bad. They're not all out to kill somebody because they're black or Hispanic or because they're black and the person is white that they're going after. They're not all bad.
But when you put that uniform and when you hide behind that badge, you're all one and the same. You all stand for the same reason and the same purposes, right? The badge and the uniform can come off. Now, whenever you get pulled over by the cops, does the cop not walk up to your car with his hand on his gun? He's treating you like a criminal that he's dealt with before that probably is a real criminal, but you're not a real criminal.
You're
so
right.
they are
and
the same.
As long as I don't act like a criminal, he's not going to treat me like a criminal.
He's already treating you like a criminal, walking
but you know
up with
what?
his gun.
Look what they go through.
His hand on his gun.
This is actually the longest conversation I've had with anybody regarding any of this. That hasn't yelled at me and told me I'm stupid or everybody's
well, that's good.
a liar.
I don't believe in bashing anybody or whatever.
I don't either.
I don't support Trump. I definitely don't support the Blue Lives Matters flag. I think that is actually the worst of the worst you can actually do.
But do you think it's good now that I can't even believe I'm saying this because I've never even heard of it until now. So the football games, now they're going to play the Black National Anthem instead of our country's national anthem?
Well, I believe they're going to play both.
But why? We're one nation. One nation under God. We're not We're not a white nation. We're not a white nation, Hispanic nation, black nation, Yugoslavian nation, French nation, Italian nation. We are one nation under God. So why do we need two national anthems?
Right. I can't answer you that because I've actually just heard of this probably about a day or two ago. So
exactly.
I haven't even researched it yet.
I told my husband, I'm like, what the hell is the black national anthem?
I agree. I don't even know what it is. Like I said, I have not even researched it or anything. So do you support the Blue Lives Matter flag?
I think all lives matter, including blue lives.
I was scared the shit out of me. Well, do you think that that flag is defacing the American flag? One of which so many people have died for?
You know, honestly, I saw the flag and at first it took me a while to figure out why it was black. I think that, I don't know, it's a different flag. It's not like the blue line is on our nation's flag.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the black national anthem.
Like I said, I don't know anything about it because I've just heard of it a couple days ago.
It could be a solid blue flag with blue lives, support blue lives or whatever on it.
I actually think that the American flag should be left alone. I don't think it should be altered in any way whatsoever.
My daughter, when I bought this, she's like, "You're, what am I doing? I'm
defacing."
Yeah, but this isn't a flag. It wasn't meant to be a flag. It was meant to be a face mask, like this,
right,
with the print of the flag on it. Now, if I took our nation's flag and chopped it up, that would be defacing the flag to make whatever.
Like that one.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's an opinion. I look at it and it's not my nation's flag because it's not red, white, and blue.
I just came back from the other side of the street. It seems to be like somebody's mom is over there on the other side. But how do you guys feel about the Trump stand being over there and you guys not supporting Trump?
It's kind of weird because they're in a part of town where the minorities are, and so that's just like, it's showing their racism, kind of.
Right, so is it hard living with a Trump supporter, someone who's so supportive of Trump and you're not?
Yes. It's difficult, we have disagreements, but there's a lot of arguments, but not like, you know.
Nothing crazy. So how did this come about? How did this happen to where you're on this side of the street and she's on the other side of the street?
I noticed that they were out here for days and days on end. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go up there and go voice my opinion. And then she was like, oh, well, I'm gonna go over there too. I was like, it's gonna be weird, but.
It's a little awkward, right?
Yeah.
So have you had any backlash from anybody driving by?
Yeah, we had like a couple of old people drive in and just like, oh, that's some foul language for some young women. And then another dude came up, he's like, oh, you guys live in a trailer park. Like we don't know him, so he doesn't know if we live here or not. So.
I got before I came here, somebody sent me a message saying that there was a crazy lady yelling at these two girls on this side of the street. Did that happen?
Yeah, that was my mom coming over.
Was she yelling at you?
Yeah, because okay, so the ladies who pulled in here, they heard daddy's gonna die or something, which we never said, and then their daughter went over there to go tell on us for something we didn't say.
Oh, so they pretty much knew you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they instigated an issue with you and your mom?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty messed up. Well, you guys are all in, you guys have every right to be out here, so just as long as you guys try to keep it peaceful, I guess.
Of course,
yes. You know what I mean? What about you? What brings you out here?
I mean, Trump is racist, that's what I believe, that's what I've seen on television. He said many comments towards my race, and it's just offensive, and it's not right, and I live with her, and to live with someone who's a Trump supporter kind of breaks my heart, even though she's allowing me to live with her, someone who's Mexican-American, and it's just, I don't see, you know, like it's kind of, she's kind of.
Wait, so you guys are not related, but you guys live together with her mom, which is a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Is she the only Trump supporter in the house?
Yes.
Holy shit, I'm sorry. I don't know, I figured like there could be some sort of bad blood there, but I guess not. That's kind of cool. Well, thank you guys for your time.